cancel you. You cancel them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry? You were all...
Do you know who I am? 75 million viewers. Last episode.
What?
But your world is not funny. Your world is next on the big story. My world is people trying to be funny.
From epic roasting to calling out they woke BS, these are moments when comedians embarrass woke interviewers.
There is something comedian Patrice O'Neal wants you to know.
We don't like you. We don't like you. We don't ever want to really see you. Like, you never heard four guys hanging out at a party, right? And one of them goes, you know what would make this party even better? If my girl was here.
This clip right here caused the legendary stand-up comedian and entertainer Patrice O'Neal to be brought on live television to speak on the offense that he was accused of creating. But yo, as expected, O'Neal completely owned the show from start to finish with his wit and catchy remarks, catching the interviewer off guard every chance that he got.
That's a very interesting take. So why is it that guys just don't want us fun, wonderful ladies around when you're hanging out with the boys?
Because you talk about nothing. Thank you for laughing at that. That's really against your instinct to laugh at that, but you just force yourself on us every second you can.
So we're just really annoying, essentially.
Yeah, but you know it, and I don't know why you don't care.
In comedy, not everything is meant to sound nice and fluffy, just funny. Now, it's the one place where it's supposed to be okay to take jabs at sensitive issues, speak on it, and call things out for everybody to have a laugh at. But these days, it seems to be a major problem for certain groups in society who want everybody to be silent butt puppets who gotta be taught what to say or see.
Yes, I do.
And how does she feel about your take on the situation?
It took her a long time to understand where I'm coming from, because, like I said, men are in the getting business and women are in the keeping business.
Mm-hmm. That's very well put, actually.
And we do our job to keep, but you don't do your job. Well, we do our job to get.
Yeah.
You don't do your job.
But what has she done right, though, to keep you?
Hung around. That's how we are. She just hung in there.
Yeah, and didn't push herself. Didn't push,
No, she did. But I'm getting older, so I try to walk her through. Just like she asked me. I asked her why she loves me. She said because when she first met me, she thought I was charming. And I said, well, why should I love you? Because I'm charming.
Okay, and
You've never been charming a day in your life. She had to go, oh.
Okay.
I'm just trying to teach her how to keep her man.
Okay, all right, very
I'm not trying.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be arrogant about it. It's just, I think man honesty becomes misogyny for some reason. But I'm just telling you how I feel.
But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And
I gotta say, Russell Brand is one of the best at sticking it to the woke elites. This is a man who went from being an English drug and sex addict to being one of the most recognizable faces in entertainment. This guy went on a rampage on the Bill Maher show where he completely destroyed MSNBC and the woke media.
And also, mate, like, just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspective. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It was propagandist nutcrackery on there. I went on a show called Morning Joe. It was absurd the way they carried on.
Good Morning Joe. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It wasn't morning.
Now, his take on the utter hypocrisy of the MSNBC ain't too far from the truth, as most media outlets have basically become mouthpieces for certain political opinions, and ain't no actual unbiased journalism left that's being carried out anywhere. Now look, a lot of people would love to disagree with this fact, but a lot of us realize that most of the junk being churned out by the media is just fake news, and even Russell Brand seems to agree. You know what, man? It's a shame that a comic figure like Russell seems to have more passion for uncensored journalism than the interviewers who claim to be proponents of the same discipline. This is a clear example of what the nation has been reduced to, but y'all can't really blame journalists, right? Not everybody has got the boldness to defy the woke brigade and a cancel culture machinery, which they have used to coerce many celebrities and comedians into conforming to their way of thinking. Celebrities who suddenly have all developed a singular opinion on most issues and would not dare to think otherwise. In this clip, Mark Norman hilariously trolled the hell out of this woke journalist, and she had no idea what the hell to do.
In the studio, it's good to have you
Hey,
here.
good to be here. It's a pleasure. I'm a little hungover, a little gay, but just glad to be here with you, sister.
I appreciate you saying that. I'm very happy to be here with you too.
All right. Sorry, just hiding my erection. But yeah, this is great.
Now, even though she never expected this, the interviewer did her best to keep her cool and manage the situation, but it was pretty obvious that she was embarrassed, to say the least. In all, she did do a good job. Now, very few people could have kept it together with Norman's awkward style of comedy.
No, you guys are more of maybe a queefing.
Oh my gosh.
But,
okay. Well,
is that clean?
That's a technical
term.
We're 10 a.m. TV. I mean, you know.
Oh, sorry, 10 a.m. You know, you've up, you had your coffee, and your meth, or who knows what. So yeah, we're all adults here.
So you live in New York City now, but you're from New Orleans.
Yeah, wow, well done. You read my Grindr bio.
I was looking you up, yes.
Man, it doesn't really get worse with the censorship movement of the woke culture. You got every single joke being told by comedians, making them all nervous about being targeted for offensive remarks. Now look it, there's only a few real comedians out there that are moving past this to perform freely, regardless of everybody who's gonna get all offended and upset. So this next video is none other than the one, the only, the iconic Jerry Seinfeld, known for his no-filter approach to making his opinions known. Every interview he's ever taken has always kept the host on his or her toes, and this one in particular wasn't no different.
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did, sir.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Don't
Is this still CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also. Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being number one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This interview alone pretty much sums up everything y'all need to know of the personality of Jerry Seinfeld. This man is never afraid to do his thing and remains one of the few comedians who couldn't be canceled even by the emerging woke culture of his time. Now, it's kind of funny that the woke left believe they got the power to cancel and silence just about anybody who they deem too offensive for their taste. But Seinfeld isn't one of those who pander to the drumbeats of anybody.
Let's talk about serious things then. The Me Too campaign.
Yes.
What's wrong with the industry? I mean, are you asking yourself how come all of this is
It's not
coming?
the industry, honey. It's the whole gender. It's men and women. This is about men and women.
You just called me honey.
Yeah. Because you got to get with this. It's not show business. This is global.
Did you see any of it? Because everyone's saying it was all around and everyone knew about it, but then...
Well, which show? Who are we talking about?
Just things that were going on around in studios and networks.
Honestly, I've never seen during the years when I worked on my show, and even in the nightclubs, I mean, a lot of the comedians, there was a lot of activity, let's call it, frivolity, comedians and waitresses and everybody. I mean, men and women, you know, chase after each other, right? Right?
Yes.
Yes, they do. Now, I've never seen it done in a way that was, that I thought that's not right,
So you're
what
surprised,
that guy's doing.
So you're surprised with all this Me Too campaign and things that are coming out now?
No, I'm not surprised, but you asked me if I'd seen it.
Okay.
So I haven't.
One of them is also actually your friend or someone you worked with, Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm. That's terrible. I mean, these behaviors themselves don't even make sense sexually. It's like, I don't even understand why they would do that.
And is it something that will cause you not to listen to him anymore, not to listen to his material, think it's right that they took him off air?
He stopped working. The problem for him will be, no one will ever look at him without thinking about that.
In his second interview, Seinfeld really did his best to own the situation, especially as it related to some sensitive issues within the industry. He did a good job to ensure that he wasn't put in a situation where he could be implicated by his speech and remarks. Way too many comedians have been cornered by journalists into making remarks and statements that would later come around to bite them in the butt. But we can only be glad that Seinfeld is among the professionals who's skilled enough to understand the media tactics and knows what to do in managing situations that could have dire consequences in the long run. Our next comedian's gotta make any list of the most embarrassing interviews with stand-up comedians. Now, Sam Morrill is notorious for ruining morning shows with his very out-of-touch and hilarious takes on issues. An interview with Sam has to be one of the most awkward situations for journalists and reporters, as the dude is well known for going on a complete rampage with his totally uncensored jokes and weird takes on issues during interviews.
Good to be in Utah.
Oh, good. Because we hear that you love morning shows.
I do.
And basketball.
My two favorite things.
Your two favorite things.
All right,
last,
we got
last time
one
I was
going
here,
right here.
last time I was here, I hooked up with a mother of 6, and that's the lowest number I could find in Salt Lake. That's not my fault.
Yeah, you just got a rim shot out of our audio guy.
I got one?
Yeah, you got
That's
one.
one.
Okay. And we're counting. Yeah. So tell us a little bit. It's a class. It's called the Class Act Tour. Is that ironic?
Yes. No, it's a
Okay.
very low-class show. I mean, it's anything topical I'm excited to talk about, like the P. Diddy stuff I want to talk about.
Oh.
You know, the sexual harassment. Because I feel like in rap, it used to be like about who's the toughest, and now it's like, in the 90s, they're like, I'm going to kill you, and now it's like, they're like, I'll tell people you had sex with me. That's the new way to bring a guy down, you know?
He is the king of awkward moments in interviews, and this example is just one of the many times the comedian left interviewers speechless at his random and very weird remarks.
He didn't have sex with me, I want to make that clear.
Okay. I don't think we were going to ask.
Oh,
though,
okay.
Just so you know.
I'm not
But
gay.
now it's out there.
But
yeah.
just
I'm
now
straight.
it's out there.
But that's not gay. He probably wanted the power, you know?
Is this going to be part of your Netflix special?
I'm not on
Are you
Netflix.
just trying this
Next
out?
one's on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw how they treated their workers, and I thought it seemed really good, so I wanted to be a part of it, you know?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm excited to be on Amazon. It's great.
Okay.
No, this is kind of your shtick now. You go on morning shows, and you like to ruin the morning show.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I didn't know. I
is
don't
that
know why
what we're
people.
doing?
I don't know why people keep inviting me back.
Well,
We're
you're
not
banned
quite sure
in
either.
Durham, right? I mean,
Durham was pissed. They were really pissed.
Yeah. So
So how
we're-
many do we have left? We're still on the list.
Somewhere in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Bowling Green. I gotta hit Bowling Green.
Patrice O'Neal is somebody we just gotta look at a second time. On his next interview with him, he went haywire and owned the entire show with his hilarious and uncensored takes on modern society and how it interacted with comedy.
She took part in a recent protest calling for radio stations to stop supporting negative language in music and talk radio, and also our favorite stand-up comic, Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Patrice, are O&A next?
I hope not. I wish JB and Elvis didn't lose their job, or Imus. It's funny. This is the thing. I don't know her, but I'm assuming that she has nothing to do with funny. So I'm gonna speak as the expert on funny. Funny people should just be left to trying to be funny.
What if they're not funny?
Then you made a mistake. But how many times has how many unfunny rape jokes lead to rape? Like,
I don't know how many jokes about rape there are.
there's a lot. But your world is not funny. Your world is next on the big story. My world is people trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, you think it's okay to try to make jokes about rape?
I'm diabetic. I make fun of that.
He took control of the situation right from the moment he was called out to speak, and it's kind of funny that he was being probed on offensive jokes, but yet the interviewers couldn't control the urge to laugh at every single remark that he made.
Says that if you're having sex with a woman, doggy style, and if you hit her in the head just the right
No,
time.
it's ejaculate in her eye and kick her in the shin, and she walks around like, arg! It's the angry pirate. That's what she was trying to say.
A violent act of hitting her in the back of her head, her body.
It's called the
freezes
donkey
up,
punch.
Which will then.
Why are you laughing? She's outraged. It's called the donkey punch. It's whole humor that she has no clue what it
We have the
is.
same problem that Opie and Anthony does. You can't say just anything on the air.
You can say anything you want. It might not be funny. You might get in trouble for it, but you should be able to be attempting. And plus, when is a crazy bum going to get an opportunity to rape the president? If the president's wife, John?
The truth remains the comedy should never be subjected to the media policing and speech control that the entire media is being forced to adopt. We're looking at a world where people aren't even allowed to tell jokes about stuff, and sadly, this is exactly what comedians are being subjected to right now. Okay, so this final interview has got Piers Morgan and a host of journalists interviewing comedian Konstantin Kisin of the Good Morning Britain show. The issue being discussed was comedy censorship. Teen went on about the need for audiences to understand that a joke isn't meant to be taken literally. A clearly woke journalist decided to go on a rampage and got completely owned. But what you said, all the broader issues, the woke movement seems to control every fragment of society. And if the things we're allowed to joke about is being closely monitored by certain individuals, then we can only be glad that those in the comedy space are pushing back and are doing everything they can to ensure creative and artistic freedom is protected within the comedy space. Now that's it for today, y'all. If you guys liked the video, then check out all our other ones on the channel too.